Attention all 8th graders, this episode is curated just for you. Welcome to the transition to high school. This three-part series is going to cover rules and regulations and just general basic knowledge of high school, sports and clubs, and even a Q&A with some of your classmates.
All right, so just want to hop right into it. So this is mainly just for people that are, coming up to freshmen, 8th graders coming up, and so we're going to cover things like block scheduling, dress code. You probably think you can use your phones all the time and stuff like that. Probably heard it from all your friends that are in high school that it's just like super laid back and that you can pretty much do whatever you want. But that's not always the case. So we're just going to kind of cover some basic knowledge and the student handbook and how it may be different in high school, or maybe the same, and just highlight some things that you may already know. But so let's just hop into it. We can start off with block scheduling. You've never had it probably if you're coming up from 8th grade. So, it's pretty much just what you're doing now, except you have 8 classes instead of 7. They have 7 classes, right?
Yeah, you'll have 8 different classes, but you'll only take 4 per day. You'll have a maroon day and a white day. That's how Willow splits it up.
And it just splits up, and you just switch on and off. So we do one maroon day, then a white day, maroon day, then a white day, and it continues over the weekend where if you start on a white day, or if you ended last week on a white day, you'll start next day at a maroon day, and they continue to just go back and forth. And each class is about an hour and a half, and then you'll have about 30 minutes for lunch and 30 minutes for bear time, which is typically you may have the opportunity to choose. In the past, we've had the opportunity to choose, and more recently, they've kind of assigned us something. So it might be a little different next year, but basically, it'll just be like the smaller class you'll have every day, and it's usually really laid back. Sometimes it's easy to just get your homework done in that class, stuff like that. But overall, it's a lot more. Days may seem longer or shorter. I mean, I've never had period scheduling or, when we were in middle school, we had block scheduling all the way through, and then the year after we graduated, they changed it back to period, or changed it to periods. So I never had it, but personally, I don't think the classes feel that long. An hour and a half, you have just the right amount of time to really learn and pick up on things, and then go on to the next one. So overall, I enjoy block scheduling. I'm not sure.
I enjoy it. Most of your classes that you'll take, you'll have time at the end of the block to do any work that you would have for homework. I mean, our freshman year, I didn't really have much homework. Most of our classes, we would learn for about an hour and then sit there and do homework for 30 minutes. So
if you want to if you don't want to do it and end up with homework, you can, or you can just take that 30 minutes, capitalize on it, and really show up with no homework the next day. Or not to mention, since you have that class every other day, you have an extra day to get your homework done. So that's pretty nice.
Yeah, you'll have 2 days to do all of your homework. You'll have the day it was given to you the next day, and then it's due the day after. But don't use that to procrastinate on homework, because a lot of people will do it the night before it's due. They'll rush on it, get a bad grade. But most of your classes, you'll have time to do homework. But if you don't, you still got 2 days to do it.
Yeah, and you'll have things like bear time, and maybe since you usually are probably going to carry your homework around, if you have downtime in one class, maybe you can do your homework from another class, and you have that time because the day or the classes are a little bit longer. So that's pretty much the gist of block scheduling.
Like bear times, part of that goes into our gap classes. Once you get into high school, you'll be assigned a gap advisor, and that will be your gap advisor until you graduate, which I don't know what the schedule is for them. They never seem to have a kind of schedule, but every once in a while you'll have a gap day where you'll get a sack lunch instead. You'll go to your gap advisor's room, and a lot of times you work on like state mandated stuff that every student has to do.
And I have friends in there, and it's like it's pretty laid back. You get in there, they tell you what you need to do, and you do it. It's not like super strict, and usually it has stuff to do with your future after high school. So writing down what classes you took and if you finished them, or learning about, I remember our freshman year, we did something about filling out a expenses kind of catalog or something to kind of get an understanding of how much it costs to live in Missouri, and then searching for a career afterwards. So yeah, you'll do ICAP. So you'll be doing that all throughout high school, and then as your senior year, we pretty much don't have anything to do.
Yeah, I recommend don't spend all of your time your freshman year filling out all of your ICAP, because I did that, and they told us it wasn't an issue. And then come junior year, we had to redo all of it again because they said you can't do it beforehand.
Yeah.
So just do your freshman year.
Yeah, fill it out year by year, definitely. But gap is, so it's going to extend from beginning of lunch to end of bear time. So you'll be in there about an hour. And it doesn't happen a lot. It's probably like twice a quarter. And
Maybe once or twice in a week, every 3 or 4 months.
yeah. Yeah.
Towards the end of your freshman year, that's when you'll sit down and write your schedule for your sophomore.
We can discuss scheduling for a second off of that point. So throughout high school, you have certain requirements. You have to take certain classes. You need to take like maybe 1 or 2 fine art credits. I'm not positive what it is, but there's like fine arts.
30 total credits for all 4 years.
Yeah. And if you finish everything and you do everything right, you'll end up with 32, I think. And then that's you get one for every year that you finish. So you'll have 8 classes through the 4 years of high school. You should end up with 32 toward the end. But I think you need a minimum of 30 to graduate.
Yeah, you'll have to have a minimum of 30 to graduate. But
and that includes, you only need, a lot of people, you might think that you need to take like a math class every year, or reading or language arts class every year, history class every year like you do in middle school. But in reality, you need 3 math credits, 3 history credits, 4 language arts credits, and 3 science credits. So language arts is the only class you're going to take every year.
Yeah, your freshman year, you'll be required to take your English 1 class, physics class. You'll have to take PE and health,
and a math class, whether that's geometry, pre-algebra, algebra 1, or algebra 1A, or you'll have to take some kind of math class, and then you'll have, you said physics, and then world history. So that's that. And then as you go on, you'll have the opportunity to take like dual credit classes that will it's kind of like doing a college course in high school, but we don't really have to talk about that right now because you won't do that until your sophomore year. So that's we have a list over there that we're looking at. That's what we're looking over there of kind of just like stuff you guys might not know. When you get to school, you'll be greeted probably by Miss Jenny. So you'll walk through the front doors, and usually you'll there's going to be a teacher there greeting you, and usually they're really kind, say good morning, stuff like that. And you'll walk through the doors, and on your right will be Miss Jenny, and then a little bit further when you're entering toward Mr. Schmitz's area, Mr. Schmidt's office, you'll be greeted by Miss Amanda. So Miss Jenny will be your go-to person if you're trying to check out or discuss your attendance or things of that nature. She's going to be kind of organizing all that. And then Miss Amanda will deal with more of like, if you want internship or A+, which will be later in the year. Not later in the year, later in high school. You won't have to deal with that as a freshman.
You'll have to deal a little bit with A+ as a freshman. You'll have to sign this agreement. It's an A+ schools agreement. Everybody signs it once they're a freshman if you're planning on doing A+. Yeah, sent home at the beginning of the year, just like every year, you'll have a thick packet of papers that your parents are going to have to sign and that you're going to have to go through and sign. One of those is your A+ schools agreement. A+ is a big thing for a lot of people that plan on going to college. They'll pay for pretty much any college around the area for you to go 2 years.
Pretty much a free associate's degree.
Yeah, but you have to follow requirements throughout high school in order to get that.
And the requirements really aren't that strict. I mean, it's really just show up to school, and that's that. So, we have a list here.
Yeah, you have to maintain a GPA of 2.5 or higher, which is 2.5 is a relatively low GPA. I don't understand anything. It's like, I mean, it's not like ridiculously low, but
yeah,
2.5 I think is like an average.
Yeah. I mean, it's manageable, and I mean, if you're planning on going to college, I would hope you have a 2.5 GPA.
I'm pretty sure you can get C's in every class and still have a 2 point.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, like average C's. So
yeah, and one of your classes later down the line will be an A+ class. You can learn more about that, but you'll have to attend 50 hours of A+ tutoring, which seems like a lot, but it's really not. It'll just be one of your blocks.
Yeah, you'll be at school anyway, so it's not like a big deal. And so basically you just go to the elementary or middle school, and you just kind of tutor and mentor the teachers and just kind of help them out in any way that they may need. And it's a really good opportunity, and it
It's a
allows
lot
you.
of fun a lot of
Yeah,
the times.
it is fun.
I A plus in a kindergarten class, and I mean, I could sit there and do arts and crafts with the kids all day.
Yeah, it's fun interacting with the kids and just especially when you have the opportunity to like talk to your old teachers if you guys like each other and chat, and then it's kind of fun. But it's good, and you might have friends that are doing it in the same grade as you, and but overall it's a great experience and gives you the opportunity to learn maybe how to interact with children better and things like that, and be a little more patient, I guess. But so you also need a 2.5 GPA again, and at least a 95% attendance.
And that's for all 4 years of high school. That's not just for the year that you take A plus. You have to have 95% or greater for freshman through senior year. So if you plan on going to college and you want this A plus scholarship, it is very important to be here.
And that's why they make you sign it as a freshman so that you know that, hey, I agreed that I will show up for 95%. So it's a really good opportunity, A plus though. Not only do you get that experience, but you get the opportunity to go to college for free and get a associate's degree, which is a pretty good deal. So it's definitely, I would recommend it to anybody looking to go to college, or maybe if it's just a back idea for you. I personally don't plan on going to college because of opportunities that I already have. But if I change my mind, I took A plus just in case I end up changing my mind and want to pursue an associate's degree in college. I still have the opportunity to for free. So I would recommend anyone take it. It doesn't cost any money. Great opportunity. But we can start getting into the student handbook a little bit if you want.
One major thing in high school is dress code. I know a lot of middle school stresses it too, but it's the exact same dress code because that's the dress code school wide. But a lot of teachers think differently back and forth on it, and you just stick to the dress code, and you won't have any issues. Honestly,
Yeah, just do what you're supposed to do. I mean, it's really not that strict. I mean, and this is coming from guys. I don't think we ever really have to worry about it. So,
don't wear shorts shorter than your fingertips. Don't. I think the getting strap tank tops. Like,
yeah, I've never had to worry about it, so I'm not very good at talking about it. It's
never been dress coded.
clearly highlighted in the book. So, if I had to give some advice, I would say read the handbook and do what it says. That's pretty much it. Something else we can get into is cell phones. I have my phone in my pocket right now. I'm sure Gabe's at his desk. But if you have any friends, you've probably heard two things. One, you aren't allowed to use it at all, or somebody else might tell you that it's free game, be on your phone whenever you want. It really comes down to the teacher. I believe the handbook says that it's supposed to be put away and the teachers have the opportunity to take it when they like. But
I mean, there's a lot of teachers that, as long as you get your work done and you're sitting there, like I said, the blocks are an hour and a half. Sometimes you get your work done, you still got 30 minutes of class left. A lot of teachers will let you sit there and scroll on your phone or do whatever you want. And a lot of times, if you need your phone to like access your school email or SIS or something, if you just ask the teacher first, most of the time they don't care. Just be respectful about it.
if you need to message a family member or something, it's not going to be a big deal.
There's been multiple times I stepped out of class to take a call or make a call, and teachers are generally pretty easygoing about it. Just don't be on your phone when they're trying to teach or when they're talking to you.
Just respect them. Pretty much. That's all you got to do. Just respect that the teacher, that you shouldn't be on your phone, but if the teacher allows you to, respect that when they say to put it away or something like that, put it away. And you might have a teacher that maybe has homework time or something like that, and you want to listen to music, you can just put your earbuds in and listen. I know Mr. Spencer, Miss Martin.
Yeah, but most teachers have a press play and put it away policy where you can just put your headphones in, press play on a playlist or a song, and just set your phone upside down or put it in your pocket or something. As long as you're not sitting there scrolling through everything constantly, they're not going to care.
Yeah, just get your work done and it won't be that bad. And freshman year specifically, you might have a little more strict phone rules. When I think back to who I had freshman year, which I'm pretty sure are all still here, besides Miss Cotton, yeah, they they preferred that you were not on your phone most of the time. Sometimes some of them will have a little phone caddy you got to put your phone in.
There's a few teachers, especially freshman teachers, that you'll be assigned a number, and there'll be a number on a clear pouch on the wall that you have to put your phone in every time. But I mean, even then, if you're a respectful person, and a lot of times they'll let you grab it and listen to music while you're working.
Yeah, it really just depends on the teacher. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, just whatever your teacher kind of is okay with. But and you can ask them, and I'm sure they'll let you know what their phone policy is in their class. But everybody's different, so don't assume that you could be on your phone. But
Sometimes teachers will outline it in the syllabus at the beginning of the year. A lot of teachers, like the easygoing ones, will tell you, yeah, you can be on it then and not this time. And the really strict ones will tell you, don't have it out at all. You'll know at the beginning of the year if you just listen to what they say.
yeah,
It's pretty.
you probably are familiar with is you're not allowed to wear your hats in the building or hoods or anything like that. They're pretty adamant about keeping you from doing so.
If you walk in the front door and take it off, you're pretty good. But it's not just because teachers want to be mean and don't want to let you wear your hood or your hat. It's a safety concern in the high school. There's freshmen all the way to seniors walking through the commons at once, and a lot of times it's hard to tell who somebody is. It's a safety concern because somebody just walk in the front door with a hood on. They don't know if they're a student or, I mean, some people look like me, like grown adults, when they walk in the front door and don't get recognized at first.
So it's just it's easy for them to be able to recognize you, and then also something that you may be using the rest of your life when you walk into a workplace. Some workplaces, out of respect, you'll take your hat off, or maybe not even workplace, just in your own house. Usually, you won't wear a hood or a hat or something like that. It's basically just out of respect and again a safety concern. And it's the same with blankets. They prefer that you don't bring your blanket. I remember when we got back from that COVID year, every single person came to school with a blanket. I don't know why. I guess everybody's just been at home for so long and like chilling on the couch with their blanket. Yeah, every day, like
I
I didn't either. But I remember just walking through the doors and everybody was wrapped in a blanket, and that's when they were like, "All right, stop bringing them to school." So
especially because a lot of people's blankets are like health concerns.
yeah,
Like a lot of people don't wash their like bedding as often as you should, and that's why, especially during COVID year, they cracked down on it a lot.
yeah, it was been rough if somebody brought like bed bugs to school.
Yeah, you got the issue of bed bugs, just general.
Dad had bed bugs once. Not fun.
It is not. I've had them too.
You know, go to a hotel, come home,
It's like your stuff.
they're impossible to get rid of. I don't know. I don't remember. But they're impossible to get rid of. So we do not want a bed bugs epidemic in the Willow Springs High School. And they overall it's just a respect thing. And then so when you get to lunch, there's gonna be something you've probably never seen before. We actually have a school store ran by our FBLA, and it's like a food store pretty much. They have like Gabe actually works in there, but they have
You got chips, drinks, different snacks. I mean, sometimes we have like some more food options, but those are pretty rare, few, far between, just because of health concerns with the
caveman slushy day or soda.
Yeah, we'll have slushy sometimes. I think sometimes we're planning on doing some soda floats, and
Yeah. It's just something you can't do it every day, but sometimes it's gonna be like a special occasion where we'll bust out the smoothie machine.
yeah, it's
Machine.
only open during lunch and bear time. Most of your bear times won't let you go. You have to go during your lunch block, but it's right outside the lunchroom. You pay with cash or card, and I mean, it's a new experience for a lot of people coming in, and a lot of freshmen don't visit it. But I mean, it's a nice thing to have, especially if you don't like the school lunch. You can always go to the school store and grab an Uncrustable and a bag of chips.
To hold you over till you get home or something. So Back to the you think you can kind of do whatever you want in high school. When you want to check out, you have a doctor's appointment, dentist, orthodontist, something like that. You still need your mom or any kind of guardian or parent, whoever you put on that sheet at the beginning of the year, to call and check you out. I don't think anybody can just check you out. You have to have your guardian.
Have it, it'll be sent home to your parents or legal guardians in that packet of paper you get every year. They'll put down names of people who are allowed to check you out. They can show up at the front door. They can call ahead, and they can check you out. And once you do, you have to go up to the front office and write down your name and the time you left and the reason why you left.
Even if your mom calls in and says he needs to be checked out at 8:30, you still need to walk over there to Jenny and write it down. See, the amount of times I've gotten back and Jenny's like, didn't come and check out. I was like, oh, and sorry, just walk out the door. So you need to go there. You need to sign out, and then you need to sign back in when you get back in. And also, yeah, if you come back, and then also if you're late, you still have to come in and sign in to Miss Jenny's window.
If you're ever late in the morning or you had a doctor's appointment and you're coming to school later, if you are not in your class at 8 a.m., you have to go to the office and sign it. We both know the transition into high school from 8th grade can be very confusing at very hard times. That's why we're making this podcast for you guys to listen to. If you guys have any questions, you can reach out to your current teachers, current counselor. You can see if you can come to the high school, and once you're here, you can talk to Officer Cunningham or Miss Patton, Mr. Schmidt, Miss Seiler, Coach Forrest. There's a large team of people that if you just reach out and need anything, you can ask and they'll help you guys.
Yeah, and they'll be happy to help. And any teacher or any maybe high schoolers that you may know, I mean, they've experienced it. They can probably help you out in any way you may need, and I'm sure they'll be happy to help. So, overall, I think that's it for this episode. Went on a little longer than we planned.
Tune into the next episode. We'll be talking about the different sports and clubs that you can join while you're in high school.